Everton 2, Chelsea 0, and to say Chelsea were humiliated today is not true, because Chelsea weren't humiliated today. This is Chelsea's new normality. Chelsea get absolutely beaten up in a counter-attack. Chelsea concede one late on, it's a 2-0 loss, and Mauricio Pochettino, I wouldn't sack you. I actually think you're actually doing a decent job. This is the best this team can hope for. But if Todd Boehly and co decide to sack Mauricio Pochettino, you'll hear no complaints from me. You will hear nothing from me saying they were incorrect, they are wrong, or they rushed. Because the reality is, he isn't giving us anything in results mechanisms for us to say, you know what, Pochettino deserves to keep his job. Let's go through this game. Let's break it down. The good, the bad, and the downright ugly. Because I'll tell you now, there is a lot of ugly to talk about. There's so much ugly, right? You wouldn't be able to clean it up all in one go. Let's break this down and let's start. Welcome to the Kavkas View, guys. Whether I've matured or whether I'm older now, I'm at the age of 27, so I'm emotionally not as reactionary after games. I'm not spiked up. I'm not going to shout and Poch out. I'm not going to be yelling. I'm not going to be screaming. I'm going to be a little bit more composed and measured, right? Because this team has defeated me. Like, genuinely speaking, I am defeated. Like, I'm ready to tap out. Because this team, the way these performances go on is beyond pathetic. Because they're scripted. You can't convince me that this isn't the WWE. Chelsea play well. Chelsea win midfield battles. Chelsea dominate. They just get to the final third. Same old story, same old pattern, same old routine. Nada happens. One team catches us on a counter-attack. Bomba! They're dancing. The Kore's dancing, screaming. Everyone's party. Hey! Nice little victory for them. So, alright, before we get started, I need you lot to do me a massive favor. Hit the like button, because it sucks making videos after when we lose. So I kind of need you lot to help me out. Subscribe if you're new. We're super close to 31,500. You get realistic reviews. Now let's get into the ugly, right? Because there is a lot of ugliness to talk about. Number one. What does this defeat mean for Pochettino? The overall result. It means Donny can lose his job. There's no other ways of putting it. Pochettino made a lot of mistakes today. And we're going to analyze his mistakes in a nice manner. Firstly, I think the mistake when Reece James gets injured, this is the biggest mistake. You do not bring on Levi Colwill and then ask for the problems that you asked for. And let me elaborate on this. By taking off Reece James and putting on Levi Colwill, you're essentially putting Cucurella back onto the right hand side, Levi Colwill onto the left hand side, and you get the same problem that we had against Manchester United. We're no longer posing any threat with width. We're no longer doing anything in that final third with two players. Levi Colwill is technically not mobile enough nor gifted enough to be playing as a fullback. On the right hand side, Cucurella, God bless his soul, he tries his best. He really tries, guys. Like, just £55 million for effort. That's what he tries. He tries. Like, you know, he's an individual that actively will get up there. He'll get the ball. He's excellent at rondos. I can tell you that, because his ball retention, phenomenal. His ability to thread a pass, non-existent. His ability to carry the ball, non-existent. In rondos, magical maker. Paid £55 million for a rondo player. Excellent for training, excellent for vibes, great hairstyle. Now, why is that so important, and why is this in the ugly? The fact that Mikhailo Mudryk doesn't have one overlap the whole game is not spoken enough. There's nowhere near enough overlaps for Cole Palmer, who's inverted. And this is a problem. You look at Arsenal, you look at Bukayo Saka, Ben White is bombing. When he wasn't playing, guess what happens? Saka's overall impact on games deteriorates. We can't keep doing this. I don't think, it's a surprise that Mudryk is getting annoyed. And Mudryk is getting frustrated. And it's so evident in his play, who I think had a good game. We'll talk about him in the good. Then we need to talk about the injuries. James is hurt again. We've got a full-blown investigation on Twitter regarding James's hamstring. Oh my God, he's injured again. How dare he? Oh, he's pathetic. Well, what's wrong with him? Guys, none of us are doctors. I'm telling you right now, none of us can advise him to take surgery. None of us have the accreditations to be able to give a direct opinion on what's going on with his body, unless you are a doctor, and unless you've seen his medical records, and unless you know Reece James. You don't know what's going on with his body. Sanchez gets injured, and guess what happens? Petkovic comes out, because all of you were crying for Petkovic. Don't tell me you weren't. And guess what? His first little introduction to the Premier League goes to punch the ball, pathetic punch, boom, 2-0. Game over. Game was over long before that, so I'm not going to sit here and be a hypocrite and say, oh, Petkovic is the reason we lost. No, game was long over. Like, we weren't going to score even if we wanted to, even if we were going to try. Then we need to talk about crashing the box. For those of you that don't know what crashing the box is, when you build up some play and your winger's on the left-hand side and you're running and there's cutbacks coming across, what you need is players to crash the box. You need midfielders to crash the box. You need your striker to crash the box. You need your other winger to crash the box. You need to crash zones. If your striker's going left to the near post, your winger needs to go to the back stick, midfielders need to go into the middle, they crash the box, defenders don't know which one to pick up, cut back, tap-ins. Mudryk has done that all game. Mudryk was doing it all game. Crashing the box is non-existent. This team poses no threat. This team has no goal-scoring attributes whatsoever. And to make matters worse, this team doesn't create chances outside of cutbacks. And even when we do, no one gets on the end of it. So overall, we're just not a very good team. So I don't know why people think we should be winning the game. And that was the thing. Outside Cole Palmer's long shot in the first half, I think it was in the 8th minute or 9th minute, I don't remember any other chances. Broja's making runs, not receiving the ball. Mudryk is making runs, crossing it in, no one's crashing the box. Palmer's trying to play that Hollywood pass every single time across the body that looks absolutely sick, but it's never coming off. Like, we just aren't a good team. We lack quality. And then we need to talk about the quality in the final third. I think Mudryk had a good game, but he lacks quality, lacks decision making. I think Broja lacks quality, lacks decision making. You see so many occasions, Broja run it, Broja chip it over him, Broja tried to take a pot shot. Nope, Broja wants to retain the ball, kills the attack. Jackson comes on, he's a little bit lost. Sterling comes on, he's getting bullied by Michalenko. You get so many players, right? Palmer, not good enough. This is the base level of this team. And the sooner we accept it, the better. The bad. And one thing goes into the bad today, and that's Enzo Fernandez. Not for his performance, his positioning. Enzo Fernandez today for me played in an 8 advanced role. So he was an 8 that was asked to be more of a 10. He played in a role where I saw Nini on Twitter call it the Carney, the Nkunku role. And for me, that makes perfect sense. That's literally what he played. If Carney Chukwuemeka was fit, that's where he would be playing. The ability to pick up the ball, roam around, be a man, get in behind, slot passes through. Enzo doesn't have the facilities to do that. I know we paid £105 million. I know there are certain expectations of him, but he doesn't have the athleticism. Asking him to do that gets me annoyed, let alone him. You see him on a consistent basis pointing at Mudryk, and he's like, 1, 2, go. And he's not going. Like, he doesn't make movement off the ball. Unless there's space in behind and he's got the ball, he's not interested in running into it. And it blows my mind. Like, I can't fathom the idea. A player that's got so much explosive pace has zero interest in using it to get in behind. He destroyed Young, and then Patterson cooked him. Patterson absolutely cooked him. And Enzo gets subbed. And you know what? He's frustrated. And I don't blame him. He should be frustrated. It was a poor performance from the team in general. Now we need to talk about the good. And for me, there are 4 players, 5 at most, right, that could get praised. 6 if I'm pushing it. Badiashile was phenomenal today. We're going away to Goodison Park. You know what you're going to go up against. And Badiashile not only matched Calvert-Lewin, not only got the better of Calvert-Lewin, he got the better of Beto. He absolutely read every ball that went over the top, read it, cleaned it up, dealt with it in first attempt. Disasi, I call him disaster class, Disasi class all the time. I think Disasi class today had a decent game. Disasi was good. I think, yes, there are moments of Disasi's games where I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Lets the ball bounce and then it goes over the top and McNeil nearly scores, but it's offside. It's not that Disasi's a bad player. I just think this is his level. He's always going to have these mistakes in him, and I don't think he's great. But he had a good game. And even, like, the statistics show that, by the way. We had no shots against our goal until they scored. And then the goal that they scored was from a corner kick where we're panicking. So it makes sense, right, why Pochettino trusted those 2 in defense. And they had good games. They didn't let him down. The midfield, Enzo, Caicedo, Gallagher. They did their job today. You can't convince me. You can't sit here and say Chelsea got outran, outfought, outbattled, defeated in the midfield. They didn't. Gay, Onana, Decore were in a battle. And Chelsea matched the battle. And I would even argue Chelsea won the battle in the midfield. The difference was the goal just came from a counter-attack where Gallagher, in my opinion, should grab a hold of McNeil. But he doesn't. And the reason he doesn't is because he already got sent off this season and they came back from a yellow card. A second yellow card. And I think that played a role in his head. I'm telling you, a couple of weeks ago, clamping him. Absolutely clamping him like there's no tomorrow. McNeil is getting that number 11 shirt ripped off his back the way he's clamping him. And he should have done. He didn't. But overall, I thought Gallagher was good. I thought Caicedo was good. I thought Enzo was alright in the first half. We battled them. We just are toothless in the final third. And another player that had a good game. I think Mudryk had a good game. You lot are going to cook me. I think Mudryk was exciting. Ability to beat a man. Crossing into the box. Cutbacks. We're just not crushing the box. I'm telling you, if Doku puts in that performance, everyone's getting gassed. If Doku plays at that level, everyone's getting excited. Everyone's ready for a party. He doesn't. Do you know what I mean? And because we don't score from it, Mudryk won't get any praise. We have a serious issue. And it's a goal scoring issue. It's a creativity issue. And I think people don't realize it just yet. That's just my honest truth. Guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't try to get too down on it. Share this video out with your friends and family. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Those of you that watch to the end, I really appreciate you guys because I really hope I ease your mind, right? With just from a tactical analysis or just from like my point of view, because I'm no expert at football. Like, I'll tell you that now for free. But I tell you what I see and I don't sugarcoat it. And I'm also not agenda driven, which I can see that people are. And it really frustrates me. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts. Bye.